Welcome everyone to coming to our Stitch Along Friday. That's what we've called it for some time, and I think it's very appropriate because we're all stitching along with one another. And one of the things that we also provide here in the group, in this Victoria Sampler chat group, is some free patterns. And this year we've had numerous cottages being stitched. Honestly, the creativity and the boldness that people have displayed on their versions of the cottages is just amazing. We're now going to be releasing November. So November's cottage is all ready for you. I've got a little copy here, although it's not quite as bright as I'd like it to be, so it's probably better if you wait for the reveal when I upload it just after this website. Hello, Tammy. It's a breezy afternoon, not surprising. It's November after all, and I can't imagine that it isn't in the northern hemisphere, particularly north of the 49th parallel, which is the parallel that we live in Canada. Sorry, it's the boundary between the US and Canada. We really find that it is getting cooler, and we're in single digits at the moment in our Celsius, and also we have pretty much a lot of rain right now. I'm noticing out of the window we're socked in with clouds. So that's fine. I'm glad that you've just got a breezy afternoon. I hope it's not a storm. Hello, Tedra from wonderful Phoenix. Oh, so it's getting very livable there, it sounds like. And you have the doors and windows open. Congratulations. Whew. I know my partner Richard in Mazatlan is saying it is cooler. It's only 28 today. Or 29, I think I said. Sue, hello, nice to see you. Hi. Good to see you for sure. I hope Florida is treating you well, and that your house is back to being quite livable after the hurricane. Marty, good morning. It's 62 degrees there. Okay. Sounds like a blanket fort weekend for you. Well, blankets sound like the right thing to do around here too. Oh, Kathy, you're under a fire warning. That's unusual. I'm surprised, actually. I didn't think that. Is it like a forest fire? Or anyway, tell us a little bit more about it. I'm crossing my fingers for you, obviously, and I hope things go well for you and for everyone in the world, because it's not all as comfortable as it is for me here in this little house. I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your posts. I noticed that I was looking this morning. I have noticed them all along, but I don't usually comment until my morning so that I can be efficient and use my time wisely, so I can also do some designing through the week. So I try not to do too much social media, but Petra's been there doing a lot of social media on our official Facebook page, the Victoria Sampler Facebook page. So I'm thrilled because it looks like she's really bent over backwards this week to show you lots of things and polls and interesting things that you can have a look at there. So don't forget to check in on us there, not just in this chat group. Let's see. Lynn says, hello everyone. Hello, Lynn. And Kathy says we're in a severe drought. So it's definitely about, we call it forest fire because that's what's around us, but it could be bushfire or grass fire for you. Oh, I crossed my fingers for you, and hopefully you've got a sprinkler ready to wet down the surrounding area. Marcia says, good morning from a cool 65 degrees. Oh, see, that sounds way better than the 100 and whatever you had during the summer. Oh boy, it never rains but it pours. I have to say, sometimes the weather can be a delight, and sometimes it just feels like you're under the gun. And so those of you who are experiencing what Kathy is experiencing in that neck of the woods, I feel for you, and I'm crossing my fingers for all of you that you move through this time of drought and that you don't have a fire to threaten you. So now that we've gotten the weather out of the way, which is important, of course, but it is also not what my Stitch Along Friday is about. Stitching is one of the things that actually keeps me sane. I haven't been able to stitch as much lately, and I think that has a lot to do with all the other things that I'm doing. And also, I'm feeling that I'm a little bit older now. I'm just not as I'm just not as active as I used to be. I'd, get a project going right away, and I'd have no trouble whatsoever in starting something new. And lately, I have done one new thing, which I'm delighted with. It's the new Bling-Tree, which I think you've all seen in two Stitch Along Friday streams back, so 2 weeks ago. But it is now at Lisa's house, which is 4 hours away from here, and I mailed it there so that she can do the layout, basically making sure that the chart is correct, and if there's any diagrams, that she also makes those correct, because she's very good at doing those things. And I'm okay at doing them, but I must say I always have a little error here or there, so I'm really grateful that she's there to pick up that slack and make sure that the chart's going to be great. We will be most likely releasing it as a kit, as a full kit, but at the moment we have no idea when. We're doing our best, as usual, to get our supplies in, but it could be a while. And the other thing is that we are kind of crossing our fingers for not a strike with Canada Post, because Canada Post is our main shipping partner, you could say. As soon as we have to use something like DHL, sorry, or any of the other courier companies, the costs skyrocket from Canada. So we're just checking and seeing how it's going to go. November the 3rd is apparently a deadline, and we'll see whether or not the QPW workers, the postal workers, plus other workers, are going to go on strike. I talked to a post office person here in Canada, in Victoria, and she said that there are 7 groups of unions, different unions, that all affect the Postal Service. So anyway, bureaucracy aside, I'm crossing my fingers that the Postal Service will not be interrupted. It's possible that it is, but we'll find out. So on that great note, if there's anything that we haven't sent out yet and have been ordered, we will of course mail it. So just in case you're concerned, don't worry about it. Make sure that you have plenty of feeling that you're comfortable, feelings that you're going to get your parcel. If there's a parcel that's coming your way, don't worry. So Karen says, very cold spring in New Zealand, but you're getting spring. Oh, I envy you. I must say, I love fall, but not so fond of the winter part. So I'm really happy to hear that you're through your winter and you're getting into spring. And hopefully your spring is as beautiful as our summers are here, because I know it gets a little bit cold and damp in the spring for you. Marty says, luck has found me this week. I found some bling at Hobby Lobby for Bling-2 tree. Oh, good. That's awesome, because I have to say that the bling that we are going to include, which we will, you may not like, so you can put any kind of bling on. Make sure though that when we add in all the bling that we have collected for you in the kit, that you can actually reproduce the exact Bling-Tree 2 that I've got will have pictured on the front cover. But if you want to change anything, you can do that. So awesome. Very happy to hear that. Let's see, Patricia. Oh, good to see you too. The past year has been tough. Oh yes, I imagine so. When we go through these life-changing operations, I know that it takes a long time to heal. And as you get older, of course, it takes a little longer. So I didn't get to check in. I did get the cottages patterns, and we'll start them. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. That's good to hear, Marty. I'm glad you like the idea of a kit too. Cloudy Atlanta for Jean Morrison. Hello. Gracie, good morning. I'm here at work. My first time here. Welcome. I'm really glad that you're here. We have a number of people that come often. Not everyone comes every week, but we certainly have some people that do come every week, and then there are a number of people who come once every couple of weeks. So you are more than welcome, Gracie. I'm really glad that you're here, and I hope that you join in and tell us all about whether or not you are doing anything to do with Victoria Sampler and your stitching. And June, you made it. So glad to see that. June was having a bit of a tough time getting into this group, so into the Stitch Along Friday part of things. So well done, June. You did it. You conquered the technology. Good for you. So I wanted to mention that I saw in our group, I saw Sandra's framing of her Year in Stitches, and it was really a beautiful, unusual color combination of frame and mattes, I think. They're sort of the blue and orange. She picked those out, or she and her framer picked those out of the Year in Stitches that she had done, which were her colors. And it looks absolutely stunning. So Sandra, I want, if you are listening to this, I really want you to know that that is the most unusual but perfect frame for this A Year in Stitches collection. I just absolutely love it, and congratulations on that. And Radonna has done an October cottage. You know what I've really noticed is that there are Spanish-speaking, French-speaking, Hungarian-speaking, Dutch-speaking, and people are doing the cottages and putting their own language for the name of the month. I love that. It makes everything feel more international. So I am so thrilled to see that Radonna has hers in French. I think Octobre. I can't say it very well. I'm not French. And then let's see who else has done some. I don't think that there were any new cottages for October, because most people have caught up with October, or at least if they were going to, they have already done so. So they'll be looking forward to November, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, Irina has done a sugar and lace, and I just wanted to show you because she's done one in her usual beautiful pastel, almost off-white, with some delicate coloring for the greens and the beiges, which personally was one of the things that absolutely appealed to me when I first started designing. This was actually my very first design, and you won't be able to see the texture, I don't think, this maybe a little bit close up. I really wanted texture more than I wanted color to begin with, because working with texture really allows you to see what happens with all the various different things that you can add as far as fibers and beads and metallics and pearl cottons. I mean, I'm wiggling it back and forth so that you can kind of see the shadows, and it really excuse me, I must have some dust in the air today. Anyway, so that was the first design that I did, and then I did some more that were much more pastel that I eventually ended up going to. But this was one of the more pastel ones that I did later on, and that is the what do you call it, the sugar and lace. So the sugar and lace is actually finished as a bell pull by Lisa. Oh, looks like there's a little red cotton on there. As a bell pull, beautifully finished. And what I have done is just taken the bell pull hardware out so that you can see it better. So this is as soft colors as well, not quite as soft as Irina, and hers is absolutely stunning. But I thought I'd show you this one because I have the model, and it's always nice to see the actual model as it goes by on your camera. There we go. It's kind of fun, and at the bottom you can see my usual hardanger part. But you know, if you're not really familiar with hardanger and you find hardanger something that you don't want to do, you can always put something else in this part, and actually you can cut it off about here and it will still be a very cute little bell pull. It really will. Or you can put some beads down below, other stitches. You can repeat some of the patterns that are in there already. For instance, you can repeat this under here instead of all of this. You can repeat this whole section, and then you'll have it longer than if you just cut it off. So there are lots of ways to avoid doing the hardanger, although there's another way to do this, and that is to do the hardanger and learn it. And you can go to our VS Academy for that. This is so great. Look, there's a whole bunch of people here. And Gracie is here for the first time, everyone who's new, who just came on board. And June, of course, and Loretta. Oh, Loretta's here too. Awesome. Mary, you're here as well. Looks like everyone or all of our regulars got here a little bit later. Dorothy says, oh, so late. Well, not that late. Let's see. And I've been stitching and forgot the time. Perfect excuse, okay? It's like somebody coming to the teacher and saying, I couldn't do my homework because I was so busy doing my homework. It's not quite like that, but you know, it really is very cute that you forgot the time because you were stitching. Perfect. Thank you, Marty, for beautiful, and Ellen and Tedra. Yeah, these ones, actually, there's 3 of them, I believe, and they all include what I've forgotten what I called them now. They're like little candies, and they have hard edges, and they look like little wrapped candies. Well, they're not so little, but they're wonderful to do, and they're easy peasy. Let's see. Does anyone know where to find the small bell pull hangers? They're impossible to find. You are right, and really, when they stopped producing them out of Norway, which is where I used to find all of my, I think they're 9 centimeter, 10 centimeter bell pull hardware. Just plain elegant ones, you know, made out of gold metal. It's not that difficult for people to create them. So I have no idea why they stopped exporting them, for sure. You'll have to go on an internet hunt, I'm afraid. And apparently ChatGPT is now going to be also entering the race for searching. So you may have more luck in a few months finding those things through ChatGPT, because apparently they've got a new search engine that's going to compete with Google. So maybe that will be a different kind of search engine that you might be able to find these actual specific things. Because I found that Google, when you search through that at least, or even Bing, you get a lot of advertisements, etc. first, like they bunch them all at the top, and then you've got endless websites to look for what you want, and sometimes you don't get those things. So I wish you all the best. Another way to do it, by the way, is to look for an image of a bell pull that you like, and then just look through images, not in text. And I found that sometimes, oh, that's exactly what I want, and you might find them on Etsy. So try that. The other option, Dorothy, and that's something that I really recommend, is, yes, Lisa just saying, hello, Lisa, you're here. The small bell pull hangers, you might be able to make them yourself. That is a perfect thing to do. It doesn't take much. It's a little round dowel that you can get at a hobby store, and put some string there. Now, the string might be chains. It could be gold chains, and paint your dowel. You know, there's so many different ways to make a bell pull hardware, and it doesn't have to be metal. So maybe you've got a friend who does things with wire, and you can paint the wire. Oh, you know, there's so many different things that you can do, but finding the actual original bell pull hardware, which we used to get from the Norway and those places, and England as well, unfortunately they're just not as available anymore, and we were really upset by that because we have a lot of narrow bell pulls. So good question. I wish we had more of an answer. Yes, exactly, Dorothy. You can paint them and attach a ribbon. Absolutely. Ribbon, or you can make, there's cords that you can get that also look really nice. Sometimes in, you know, when you're wrapping a present, sometimes instead of having ribbon to wrap with, they'll have cording, and that might also be a nice thing. I don't know. There's so many different things you could do yourself. However, unfortunately, the metal ones are not really there very often. I also want to mention Jessica, because she asked a question for people in the UK to find certain items that are fairly well, that quite common in the US. But I know what happens if she in the UK, or anywhere else for that matter, but particularly apparently in the UK, imports something from the US by buying it from a US website. The VAT, which is a tax that is quite high, and the customs makes it almost, well, it makes it very expensive to import something into UK, and the same with Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. So we find that our import duties are quite high. So it's really wonderful that there are outlets like the Northgate store has been a needlework outlet in the UK for a long time. So thanks to whoever it was that posted that. That was a great idea, and hopefully they'll be able to help this lady. Tammy says I've used dowel rods, small ones, and silk ribbon that I bought at Joann's ages ago. They work for bell pulls. Perfect. And another thing is you can also expand your little bell pull in the needlework part and put some printing around it. I happen to have this one, which is a little brightly colored for this discussion, but as you can see, then you can use the great big hardware at the top, right? So it's another possibility to do that. We also have let's see, I was going to mention your Thanksgiving sampler. Way to go, Dorothy. I'm sorry, you have to now stop doing it, or at least maybe stitch until it's Thanksgiving for you there in the States. But your progress is remarkable. You've really done a lot of work and it looks stupendous. And finally, Lisa and Susan Poling both were doing their spooky treats. Both of them look absolutely lovely. I have to say that both stitch so beautifully. It's hard to tell the difference. So congratulations to the two of you for your progress. And I'm sure that there are many other people who are progressing along, doing all sorts of things. So shoot us, post a picture of your progress on Victoria Sampler Design. We always love to see what people are doing. I certainly do. I was looking through all of my models the other day, and I saw this little thing. I don't know why. I've brought it here because I wanted to show you. A friend made this for me in one of my, for being a teacher in a in-person class. And she made this, and I just love it, and I haven't seen it for a little while because I've been moving around and stuff. And this is the little ornament. It is a little ornament. She's used the cake from one part of the sampler, and she's used the candles from another part of the sampler with the word 20 on it. I think it was my 20th anniversary of Victoria Sampler. Anyway, I love it. It is finished so perfectly. I don't know if you remember this, Lisa, but I just absolutely, when I looked at it, I thought, oh, that is so adorable. It's such a small little thing, but I just love it. And I have to make sure that I put the name of the wonderful person who stitched and finished this and gave it to me. And this is where it's from. And I was just showing you the inside cover of that, but I did want to show you that it's from the Celebrate sampler. So see what she did? She took the top part, and then she took the bottom. Oh, there we go. And then she took the bottom section here, just this section, and this section, and made it into a double-sided ornament. So you can do that with my samplers because I have so many little sections in my samplers. Well, that sounds so good. It really is cute. Dorothy says her spooky treats is here too. So both of you are going to be stitching on that. It really is a wonderful design, and I hope that you enjoy it very much. And Ellen's going to start hers. So you'll be all finished by next year, October. I don't know if anybody else had problems sleeping last night, but as you know, it was Halloween, October 31st. I'm way past what the children, used to do in my house. And so I don't really participate that much I just don't have the same kind of interest in the celebration part of things. In other words, the fireworks, okay? We had fireworks nonstop from 7 o'clock until way past midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It didn't stop, and it would stop for brief, like maybe 30 seconds, and then it would continue. And I'm wondering, who are all these people? How did they get so many fireworks? So I have no idea. I do know, though, that the First Nations people can sell fireworks, apparently, and they have done so. So maybe they were also celebrating with the remainder of their fireworks that they didn't sell. I don't know. But nobody slept very much around here last night, and I don't know if any of you have had those issues, but I find it really funny because I used to absolutely love Halloween and all the fireworks that I could possibly listen to and look at, and now I'm going, those fireworks. So, hello Petra, you're here. That's great. I'm glad you were able to drop in. I'm just about at the last part of this Stitch Along Friday stream. Those of you who participate every time, thank you, because as I was thinking to myself, getting here, sitting prepared, getting my lights up, adjusting the camera a little bit, making sure that I am ready for you, having a, making sure that my hair is a little bit okay. And I was thinking, I'm so grateful to you for showing up, because from my point of view, I'm here to meet with you and to chat with you, and I love reading all of your comments. So thank you for coming here, and also thank you for the newbies. Anybody who comes here, of course, is very welcome. That's a long time for fireworks. Exactly. Yes, 9 o'clock. That's normal, right? And I know your dogs don't particularly like fireworks either. I'm in their camp, Lisa. So what else did I want? I wanted to show you something else. Oh yes, I have a Trier Twee course up now, and as you all know, the Trier Twee it does require a fair bit of, well, I used to call it just expert finishing, but it just requires some knowledge, some techniques, and we have that in our course. And the course is available now. You don't have to sign up right away, but if you do sign up, remember you get to be in that course for a full year. So if you sign up now, then you'll have it when you are ready. And especially for those of you who have been stitching in the Gingerbread Trier Twee stitch along group, which I don't think it's what it's called, but in any case, in that group, there was about 60 or 70 people there. They might like to know that there is a finishing course. So if you know someone who has got this all stitched, but you don't know how to finish it, the course is not very expensive. It's and you do have to register for it, but it's really worth it. There's a lot of detail in it, and it shows Lisa and I back when we were, I don't know, another 10, 15 years younger. No, probably more. I think it's 2010 that we did this, all of these videos, but I've added more information in as well. So you'll find lots of good detail in there. Let's see. Jean Morrison, thank goodness we don't have fireworks here. And again, neither does Dorothy. Apparently in the States, fireworks are not legal. Most places, except I think in some areas, maybe in LA. Who knows? I also can understand that there are a lot of people that don't have fireworks because of fire, right? And I'm pretty sure that I can see Kathy just shivering at that thought. However, when we have fireworks here, it's because there's a very large component of people from China, and it is a typical thing for a Chinese celebration. So we always have some fireworks available, and it is really strictly guarded, but we also have a lot of rain. So fireworks are carefully monitored, and you can't sell them without a license. So there's definitely some checks and balances in place. But we are unfortunately still part of the fireworks people. And when there are fireworks, it's loud. On the other hand, it doesn't happen very often. We don't usually have too much trouble. New Year's and Halloween are our big fireworks displays. Let's see. Lisa, you're right. The hardest part of finishing is the cutting the mat board. I think you're right. That took a long time, and you have to really be careful when you're cutting mat board. But really, the stitching, the finishing in the Gingerbread Trier Twee finishing course, as you can see exactly what Lisa does. So I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy that course. Okay. Yes, angel card coming up. Yes, you have fireworks on the 4th of July, exactly. And we have actual big fireworks for our Canada Day too. However, we don't have firecrackers, and that's what we heard a lot of last night. Fireworks are fine, but crackers, they're right next door to your house. No thanks. Judy says they're legal in Tennessee. I know, right? Blowing up money. I know that. But anyway, this is our opinion. I know when I was a kid, I absolutely loved setting off a few firecrackers, but that's okay. So I'm going to do what I was asked, because Ellen, you're absolutely right. It is time for an angel card, and it is almost time for me to take a little bit of time off and doing other things. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Are you doing okay? I just saw your little note here. I'm just about to do an angel card for the last part of our stream. It's okay, so I'm not going to look. Okay. Oh, it says you are a great listener, and that's you, because I've been doing all the talking. No. You know, when you're a great listener, you also, yes, you give a gift to everyone for when you're listening to someone. So I know you know what this means. You are a great listener. Keep in mind that you can certainly learn a lot more about lots of things, including life and people, if you're listening. And if you listen more than you talk, you're probably a wise person. So you are a great listener. Going into the back part of my stash here, and that's today's angel card. So I hope that you enjoy that thought. And November Cottage comes out today also, absolutely. So I was just about to show Marty. Thank you for reminding me. But remember, it's going to be put up in the correct place. Under featured in about half an hour. I just have to make sure that I get the link correct. Okay, so you'll be looking for it in about half an hour. And this is the November Cottage. As you can see, it has some leaves blowing of the trees here. These trees are bending over this way, so it actually looks a lot better even in the pattern, but it will really look a lot better when you've stitched this. The design is adorable, and it has a little chipmunk here. Sorry, not chipmunk, squirrel. And it does look a lot like autumn. I hope that you enjoy it. And it looks like a windy autumn. So those of you who have some winds and storms in the November, that makes total sense for you. And of course, I've also already worked on the December Cottage. So remember, make sure that you save them somewhere or print them off so that you have them available, because they won't be available at the end of this year. And let's see, there was one more thing. Oh yes, next week it will be daylight savings for us here again in Canada or in BC. So remember, we will be starting an hour later than we are now. So if you don't have daylight savings, just make sure that you recognize that we do have daylight savings. We'll be off now, so that means 9:30 today would be 8:30 next week. And for those of you who are in daylight savings, it's still 9:30. Okay, so good. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend. And Rachel, you're getting your first rains tomorrow. Oh, I bet you're looking forward to that. When things are so dry, it's really, really difficult to feel like you're refreshed. I wish you all the best, as you know. And Loretta, have a great weekend to you too. I'm going to say goodbye to you all. Thank you so much for joining in. And I hope to see you again next weekend. Goodbye now. Goodbye. I always have to say this twice, and that's why I hold my hand up. Have a wonderful weekend. See you next week. Bye-bye.